I already. I don't hear it all. But because I usually try to find excuses not to have to wear it. We got home with the parade, photos, all that stuff. Local part of it. We'll see. They stopped Pump City last year. We'll see how we're well photos Friday. Don't they used to parade being on Thursday. They've always done it on Thursday. This year they did not. Yeah, we're fine. We're all I'm not doing these. What's that? Yeah. We're good. Okay. Yeah. Ready whenever you're on there.
Okay, you guys ready? Okay, I'm gonna call the regular meeting of the Everman City Council to order. It is Tuesday, September the 5th, 2023, and the time is 6:31. If everybody please rise for a moment of silence, followed by pledge of allegiance. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so we have no consent agenda. So under presentations, item A, proclamation declaring September 23rd, September 2023 is Hunger Action Month in the city of Everman. Oh, okay. Whereas hunger and poverty are issues of vital concern in North Texas, where 1 in 6 people face hunger and 1 in every 4 children do not know where their next meal will come from. And whereas the city of Everman, Texas is committed to taking steps to combat hunger in every part of our community and to provide additional resources to those in Everman need. And whereas approximately 500,000 individuals living across the Tarrant area face food insecurity and rely on food resources and services provided by the Tarrant Area Food Bank annually, including more than 270,000 residents living in cities across Tarrant County, like the city of Everman. And whereas the month of September has been designated Hunger Action Month to bring action to food insecurity in our communities and to enlist the public in the work of ending hunger by taking simple actions, including donating, volunteering, and advocating on hunger issues to ensure nobody has to make an impossible choice between food and other necessities like housing, medicine, utilities, childcare. And whereas food banks across the country, including the Tarrant Area Food Bank, will host numerous events throughout the month of September to bring awareness to hunger issues and increase public action to end hunger in our local community. Be it proclaimed by the City Council of the City of Everman that we proclaim September 2023 as Hunger Action Month in the City of Everman. We urge all citizens to work together to recognize and support this tremendous community need. So Jared, if you want to come up and you can bring them up with you if you want to. Go ahead and introduce them.
Thank you so much, Mayor, and hello, City Council and City Manager. Thank you all so much for this proclamation. It means an incredible amount to the food bank to have local partners like you all that are committed to fighting hunger with us. Hunger Action Month is my favorite month, and it's HAM for short. And it takes me back to my favorite meal growing up, which is fried bologna and syrup, maple syrup. And so looking back, you know, I realized the level of food insecurity even I went through with my family, but gosh, fried bologna and syrup is really good. Also, thank y'all so much for your commitment and vision to helping alleviate hunger here in the city of Everman through the Boost partnership. We're excited to announce that we have 2 new teammates who are dedicated to the city of Everman to help folks who are eligible for SNAP to not only get enrolled in those benefits, but also equally as important to have access to free home delivery through a 12-month free Boost by Kroger membership. And so I wanted y'all to put a face to our team that is doing the work in the community. They've been gracious to meet with city staff about places that y'all would like to see us in the community here in Everman. So I want to introduce y'all really quick. Vicki Martinez is our Vice President of Community Impact at Tarrant Area Food Bank. And she oversees all of our amazing leaders who help folks through community resources to apply for things like SNAP, as well as other state benefits. And then also we have Vivian Atkins. She is one of 2 of the Boost team members. And so you will see her face in the community, as well as she couldn't be here, but Jennifer will also be on that team as well. She had another commitment and couldn't make it tonight. And both of our team members are multilingual. And so we'll be able to assist a wide variety of folks from different backgrounds, different language needs, et cetera. So again, thank y'all so much. It's indeed an honor. And we look forward to continuing to work with y'all.
Okay, Jared Williams is VP of Advocacy for Tarrant Area Food Bank, and he's also a Fort Worth councilman.
So I personally know how hard y'all work and how much they pay us, right?
Fort Worth, I'm gonna call him Red.
Indeed, y'all always call us. One last thing, September 15th is National Hunger Action Month Day. And so we're calling all of our communities to wear orange in symbolism of all of the food banks and food bank communities coming together to alleviate hunger. So orange is the color. So if you see us wear orange, I know it's not our brand color. That's why we're wearing it.
Well, and council too, just so you're all aware, he's pretty humble, but a lot of what's going on right now is primarily thanks to Dr. Jared Williams here and then Julie Butner and the partnerships that we've had. They're doing a lot for Everman, and they're doing a lot for the Everman area as well. So there's a lot of things going on. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of you, but I've loved this partnership. We had the pleasure, they invited us to go to the ham breakfast last week to kick off Hunger Action Month. And that was a great event to go to. It really gets everybody energized about Hunger Action Month and what we can do, and just really how far the impact is that they're going to bring here to the community. So they're going to do a lot. You're going to see a lot of them, and I'm excited about it. So we're fired up about it.
So I think it's time to go over there to see. So Good things going on, it's not about bringing up.
Yes, sir. And it's an open invitation in case y'all would love to come and take a tour. Y'all are always welcome and I'd be happy to give y'all a tour.
Have y'all thought about selling orange t-shirts?
We have not, but note to self, I will make that the fundraiser for next year.
I usually volunteer at the charity and everything, and I just thought that would kind of be. Company, I'm the one who pulls it together to get people to go out there, but I just thought since you said it's Orange Day on 15, we're actually going out on the 23rd. So.
Oh, excellent. Well, I need to get shirts for next year. That is now on my to-do list. Yeah, we also have wristbands and lapel pins. We'll make sure y'all get some as well for Hunger Action Month.
Hey, Council, can we get all of you over here to just kind of get with the mayor and Dr. Williams and his team?
In front of the podium?
If we can, that'd be great.
Let's go this way.
We'd love to use this to try to boost Hunger Action Month and get some attention to it. Oh, no, you're fine. I'm good. I'm the hired gun. I'm not elected. All right. Everybody ready? Yep. On three. 1, 2, and 3. And I've got several here. Perfect. All right. Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, and thank you. Yes. Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you. Vivian.
Thank you so much.
Okay, next item is fiscal year 2024 employee benefits review. Ronnie Dryden, Senior Vice President of Hub International.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Mayor, Council, thank you for having me. Just a quick recap on that. My firm, Wellspring, we were acquired by Hub International in March of 2021. So for those of you who don't know who Hub is, it's actually the 4th largest insurance broker in the world and the largest privately held broker, period. So that's who Hub is. Hasn't changed what we do for the city of Everman, just delivers more resources, more value for same dollar that you're spending. So it's been a good relationship for me and my team. Thank you for having me here tonight. I think there we go. Craig's got it up on the screen. Obviously your benefit program renews with your fiscal year October 1. We're with United Healthcare now and have been for the last couple of years. United, on their initial renewal, like they always do, they came out with an increase of about 6%. Through negotiations with them, we actually have the ability to renew our current plans with United Healthcare for a 2.5% reduction in cost for the current fiscal year based on your current enrollment. That equates to about a $15,000 savings to the city. So it's a nice program. The city of Everman offers a really comprehensive benefit package for your employees that is very competitive. I think, as most of you may recall, we represent many of the cities and towns around you. And so we have a good understanding of what others are providing their employees. So the city of Everman has a really nice program that they offer all employees. In In the slide on the screen, that basically just shows your current plans, the benefits of those plans, and then the cost. You have 4 plans now, and you have employees participating in all of the plans. So the selection of plans fits your staff and the needs. And if I'm not incorrect, the city manager says that your employees are happy with United Healthcare and how it is working for them and their families. Do you have any questions about the medical piece of this? Okay. Part of the reason we got the 2.5% reduction is, like I said, the 2.5% reduction is also a factor of us moving our dental insurance from our current provider to United Healthcare. It works out that that is actually also less costly than we're paying now for dental. So that was a win also. And your employees are not giving up any benefit for that change. We were able to line up benefits with what they have now. So we don't see any real disruption in service to your employees. So that's a really nice option. Not a huge savings, but it is $700 reduction in overall cost with the new rates that start October 1st compared to the current rates that you have with Mutual of Omaha. The one increase that we will see is moving our our vision to United Healthcare. We receive a 0.5 percentage point reduction on our health plan by moving vision. The vision increase is about 19%, but when you do the math, 19% of a much smaller number, the discount to make the move for the vision to United Healthcare is a net savings to the city. So mathematically, it makes sense to make that change. Same for dental, and I failed to mention the dental discount was 2% to move the dental. So not only do we save money in the billed dental rates, we also save about $10,000 on the health premium. So it's a nice program. The life and disability that you currently have is with Mutual of Omaha. We are recommending that we continue those programs as they are. We did not see a change in the cost for those programs. And we are recommending again that we renew those as is. And then on the last page, Craig and I were talking about this, and the mayor and I just very briefly, we put together a cost history. It's the very last page. There it is. We like to kind of show, we do this internally, but we thought it would be interesting to show you all what's gone on. So that first column shows January 2019. So some of you familiar faces on council might recall that our plan used to renew January 1st. And we changed that to get in line with our fiscal year. So when we moved from Blue Cross initially to United Healthcare in January of 19, we saw our initial renewal was a 13% increase from Blue Cross. Ultimately, we changed to United Healthcare and reduced costs 17%. That's in the navy blue bold column. And then we had an increase of 11.73. And then in October of 21, we got back on our fiscal year and we moved to United for almost a 13% reduction. 2022, we had a 0% change. 2023, for this coming fiscal year, we're at minus 2.5. We're all consumers of healthcare. It's rare that we get to see cost go down, whether it's on average or year over year. So the city has fared well in the last 5 years. We're averaging about a 2.6 reduction over that 5-year period. So it's been a good run. Some of that is luck. Some of that is negotiating. The city has grown in its employment base. Demographics have improved and the claims are good. So right now we're kind of hitting on all cylinders as far as performance of our plan. And the city manager and staff, we talk frequently, give them updates about what is going on. If there are any claims emerging, things like that, so we can plan. So you have a great administrative staff to work with, and we appreciate that very much. Glad to take any questions that you all may have. Otherwise, that would conclude my visit.
Rodney, do you mind talking about that cash card?
Oh, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Also, as a part of United's renewal, We negotiated in that for United Healthcare to include their Care Cash card. And what that is it gives your employees that are not participating in the high deductible health plan, or as many people call it, the HSA, it gives them a preloaded credit card that if they're covering only themselves, there's $200 on that card. And if they're covering a family, that's themselves and one other person, $500 on that card. And those dollars can be used for primary care, specialist, or urgent care visits. So conceivably, you will have some employees that may not be out of pocket anything for healthcare expenditures with that care card. The other thing I really like about it is that card, that program has the ability to accumulate funds up to $2,000 on that card. And it's not a liability to the city, but it's a true benefit to your employees. So it's a really nice feature, and we were able to get them to include that. They normally charge about a percentage point to include that benefit, and we were able to get that done for no charge. So it's a really, Craig, thank you for reminding me.
So you're saying you can bank up to 2,000 money, like if you don't use it this year, then it rolls up the next year.
Yes, the question was, can you bank that money? And the answer is yes. That money will accrue on that card up to the maximum of $2,000.
And that like year after year.
Yes, so
So if I don't spend it this year, then next year I'll have $1,000 or whatever.
correct,
Okay.
depending on how you are enrolled in the plan. That is exactly right. And again, that program is not available to your high deductible health plan or HSA participants. The IRS provisions prohibit that.
You mentioned the 6% increase. Is that across the board or how was that?
The initial increase request from United Healthcare was 6%. And that was for all plans across the board. And once we were finished, all plans across the board were a minus 2.5. So United Healthcare is not getting an increase from us for any program except for vision. But the net savings to the city still exceeds the increase.
That's it.
And so for council, just to clarify, so you guys understand how this works with budget. When we do budget, we budget $1,000 per employee per month for medical. And so they're allowed to utilize any plan that they choose and whatever coverages they choose, whether they want to cover family member, spouse, dependent, whatever it may be, up to that $1,000 limit. They're responsible for anything above and beyond that $1,000 limit. Most employees do not cost the city $1,000 a month. Most of our employees, our regular employee, typically one that's not married, has no children, will cost us the base plan. And I was looking up that number.
778.
$778 a month. But we budget $1,000. So altogether, not only do we tend to over budget on medical in the first place, Rodney's kind of underselling himself, I think, a little bit here in this presentation. He was able to negotiate a reduction at that of 2.5% additional savings and give the employees a greater benefit. That cash card is going to be tremendous to these employees that can now go in and not have to worry about a copay here and there. You know, and we have so many employees that do live paycheck to paycheck because that's unfortunately the society we're in now. And we have several of those that do live paycheck to paycheck that may not go to the doctor because they can't afford the $20 copay. And now they're going to have that cash card option that'll pay it for them. That's just another great benefit to add on top of this. Additionally, another great benefit that helps is that with dental and vision now underneath the same umbrella as United Healthcare, it's all one insurance card. And so we get a lot of people that, believe it or not, because they don't know who their dental provider is for whatever reason, choose to not go to the dentist because they don't want to have to call HR and figure out who's my dental provider. How do I set this up? It's all under the same card. It makes it easier for the employees across the board. So Rodney, I think, is still underselling himself a little bit. He's able to negotiate a low rate for us, get us greater benefits across the board and well within budget, under budget, as a matter of fact. So I think it's great.
Thank you, Craig.
Now, with the state on insurance, medical insurance, do they, if you have the family plan, do they cover your child until 26? Is that, because I've noticed the dental is 19.
That's for orthodontia.
Okay.
So under healthcare reform, dependent children are covered up to age 26.
Okay,
That's a federal law.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Okay.
Do we have a lot of families that are on the plans?
Well, no,
No.
is the short answer. We have some. We have more in the last couple of years since we moved to United Healthcare than we have had historically. Of your employees, we currently have 4, regardless of the plan. We have 4 that cover a spouse. We have 9 that cover themselves and at least 1 child. And then we have 4 traditional families. So that's a greater participation at the dependent level than we have had really maybe ever. I think the last couple of years, and with the city's generosity of that budget amount, it has made it affordable, even though it's a stretch still for some of your people. It has made it more affordable than it has been in years past. So what we've really tried to achieve, and we've really had a lot of discussion and planning around what can we do to provide our not just our employees, but their families coverage, because it's our experience that if you're on the job and someone in your family has a health condition that they can't get treatment for, that affects their performance. So if we can provide programs that help that, it makes for better employees. And the culture that you all are building here at the city, Craig and I have talked about this, it's really a change in culture from where it was years ago. So it's a really positive environment. And I think this type of program that you offer your people plays a small part of that. So you have programs that make dependent coverage attainable for more than we did just a few years ago.
We've definitely seen the numbers go up. So with that $1,000 budget, roughly each employee, if they wanted to cover their kids, and they can cover an unlimited number of dependents. So whether they have 1 kid or 6 kids, if they're just covering their dependents, it's going to cost them about $107.56 out of pocket that they have to contribute to do that coverage. Roughly 50 something dollars a paycheck. That is a much easier pill to swallow than 3 or 4 years ago, when the only insurance option may have been $200 or $300 a paycheck. If they wanted to cover their entire family on that lower plan option, the HMO, which we keep calling it a lower plan, that HMO option is actually still a very good HMO plan. We've had everybody that's on that HMO has been very happy with the performance and satisfied with it. But to add the family on there, they'd be responsible for about $661.35 a month. So a little over $300 a paycheck to add spouse and kids on there.
And that's going actually down to $619 a month using that $1,000. So your people that are covering families now, that's a real example. Their cost per year is going to cost them about $720 a year less over the next 12 months to cover their family as it does right now. And that's a substantial amount of money. So that's our goal. Can we meet that goal every year? No. But we're going to enjoy the successes when we have them, and we have had them the last couple of years. And so we're hoping for a positive trend to continue for the city and for its employees. And I think that really, with your deductible on that first HMO plan, it's the Navigate plan. And by the way, as Craig pointed out, the Navigate network with United Healthcare is the exact same network as their PPO network, except you have to choose a primary care doctor and you have to get a referral. So yes, there are a couple of extra steps involved, but you still have Cook's Children's, you still have Scottish Rite, you still have MD Anderson, you still have UT Southwestern, Baylor, Presbyterian, the old Harris hospitals, all of those are still in the network. So it's a substantial network. And your people, other than having to have a referral to seek specialist care, that's what they're giving up, a little bit of freedom.
This is for 39 employees, is that correct? How many did we have last year?
Last year we had covered at this time 47. We have 56
47?
Covered.
It's on the back page.
We have 56 now. And if you see how that breakdown is in the HMO that Craig talked about, we have 16 currently enrolled. In the HSA plan, we have 12. In the 3,000 deductible PPO plan, we have 1. And then in the what we call the base plan, this is where most of your single employees enroll. We have 27. So you add all those up and it's 56. So, and that number changes year over year based on open positions and things like that, how many budgeted positions you have versus how many are actually employed, because almost all of our political subdivisions have openings that they can't fill. So that number's dynamic.
We also do offer an insurance opt-out program that we do have a handful of employees that are enrolled in. For example, if we have somebody who's married to somebody who offers insurance coverage through their work, or maybe they're a Medicare recipient or some other insurance program, they can select to opt out of our insurance program, and then they receive a stipend. Do you remember what the stipend is?
Ask about
$250. Yeah. So they receive a $250 stipends for opting out, but they can only opt out of our insurance plans if they have alternative coverage.
Is that $250 a month or $250
Per month.
This is only United Healthcare. So this was the best option.
Yes, this is the option.
Blue Cross Blue Shield or any
Yes,
other.
this was the option that the city elected to go with. It's the best option for the city price wise for this fiscal year.
Rodney will ask us, he'll approach us as we typically have about a mid-year meeting, and then we have a meeting, a month or so before we go for this. And he'll ask us, what our opinion is. He monitors the market. He reports that back to me. As a matter of fact, in June, we were discussing as he started getting a feel for where the market was. And at that point, we give him a decision. Hey, we want to stick with United Healthcare, or no, we want to take it to market. And we base that decision off of his recommendation and what's happening in the market. This year, we chose to stick with United Healthcare because of the employee satisfaction. Rodney was confident in the negotiating skills and what we could get out of this. We're still looking at a reduction. Next year is a different story. Next year, we may have to go to market and see what other alternatives are out there. It's always changing year over year. We've been with Blue Cross Blue Shield and United Healthcare. We've been back and forth between the two many times. There are several other options out there that may bid that we want to look at. Again, it just kind of depends as we go forward into the future, what happens to the market and where it is at as compared to what we're budgeting and what we're used to paying for.
Kudos. It's an excellent plan. We're saving money on the budget. The employees are getting what they need. Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your questions.
Thank you.
Thank you, Craig. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, we don't have to do anything since it's a budgeted item.
It's done. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Just filling you in. All right. We're going to save money. Things are better.
Yes.
Okay, so next item is citizens' comments. Do we have anything? Okay. No citizens' comments.
It's on.
Next item, discussion items. Item A, staff update fall events for 2023.
All right. So I wanted to take a minute because we have a ton of stuff coming up. So give me just 1 second here. I'm going to pull up my list. I just wanted to brief everybody on all the various events and then answer any questions about the events that we've got coming up. First and foremost, we have the Forest Hill Drive public meeting tomorrow night at the Forest Hill Convention Center. That meeting is to really engage with the public and get public input and feedback regarding Forest Hill Drive, flooding on the roadway, what they would like to see as part of the transportation project. That's tomorrow evening at 6:30. This Saturday, if you guys recall, we had Pastor Helen Epps here at one of our previous council meetings requesting to utilize the Civic Center facility for a community giveaway. And so we have scheduled that. That is actually this coming Saturday. We have not publicized that yet, very intentionally, and I just want to be clear, because once we start advertising, it's a community-free giveaway, and they're going to be giving away things like furniture and home goods and these kinds of things. We have to be able to handle the influx of people. So we intentionally are delaying notifying that until tomorrow morning. So it's okay that we're discussing it here, but it will be posted tomorrow morning, advertising that through this weekend. We are anticipating several hundred people to come through that line. And it's a pretty impressive operation. We will be utilizing the outside of the facility only, not the inside. There won't be anything in here. They will have approximately 60 to 80 volunteers here to run the giveaway. Nobody will get out of their vehicles. We'll have, we've got a local transportation traffic control company that will take care of setting up cones and barricades for the traffic flow for us. And we'll have officers from both our department and several other departments here helping manage the traffic flow and things as it goes on. So that'll be happening Saturday morning. The giveaway starts at 10. The volunteers are going to be here starting at 6 a.m. If anybody would like to volunteer, they are seeking more volunteers, but you have to register. You can't just show up to volunteer. You do have to register with them. I will send that information out when I do the public release tomorrow as well on how you can volunteer if that's something that you would like to be a part of. But it should be a pretty great event. We had the opportunity earlier to go check out their facility and see the kind of items that they were going to be giving away. And wow, it's some pretty amazing stuff. So, September 11th, we have our 9/11 Remembrance Walk. That'll be in the evening. That starts at 7:15 p.m. Typically, we meet at the Memorial Park located up here. We meet in that parking lot there. Police officers and firefighters will be there. We invite the general public to come out with us as well. Forest Hill is going to be joining us. Police and fire will be joining us as well. And at 7:45, Chief Wiley will lead the walk. That's the time that the towers fell. Obviously, it was AM versus PM, but because there's so many different events that go on in the region, we're trying to set something up in the evening. So it'll be a nice evening walk along the track about the time that the towers fell. 2 weeks after that, we'll have National Night Out. National Night Out is on Tuesday, October the 3rd. Typically, that is a council meeting night, but I believe the mayor is planning to cancel that meeting for National Night Out. We will also have elections going on. No, I'm sorry. That's the next meeting event. Forgive me. Cancel that. National Night Out will be all outdoors here, just like we've done in years past. That'll start at 6 p.m. 2 weeks after that, we have our Battle of the Badges softball fundraiser. That's on Saturday, October the 14th. The gates will open at 6 p.m. It'll be Forest Hill and Everman Police against Forest Hill and Everman Fire. And we have done a phenomenal job, I think, at trying to make this as entertaining as we possibly can. So we're going to have mascots and concessions and music and actual announcers and umpires, the whole 9 yards. So it is going to be a show. You're not going to want to miss it. I promise.
What time?
Gates open at 6 p.m. Game time should be about 6:30. Yes, it'll be at the Everman High School baseball field, the Gary T. Balk Stadium. And then on Friday, October the 27th, will be our Everman Halloween Festival. We have decided to do this on a Friday this year. Every year, we always get school involvement with our Halloween Festival. And in talking with the schools, they felt it would be easier for staff to do it on a Friday night rather than a Saturday. Additionally, there's always all kinds of other events going on the Saturday before Halloween too. So this way we're not conflicting with those other events. So that'll be Friday, October 27th at 6 p.m. We do have vendor registration forms up online already. If anybody would like to set up a vendor booth, and that includes any council members or the council as a whole, if you'd like to. We just need to make sure that if council as a whole is doing it, we're posting it and making sure that we're legal. But that'll be a fun event. And then our Everman Christmas tree lighting is scheduled for Thursday, November the 30th at 6 p.m. And it'll be pretty similar to last year's with the performances by the elementary kids, followed by the snowfall and hayride and s'more stations. We'll have Santa as well, the indoor winter wonderland, everything that we did last year. We're pretty much going to repeat that this year. And then a week and a half after that, we'll have our Everman Holiday Market. So this holiday market is rapidly growing. We have completed the vendor registration forms today and are putting things together. We are expecting to have several vendors here. We've even had now, after our meeting today with the Christmas committee, We even had a band reach out and offer to come and perform at our holiday market for free. They just want to be a part of it. So we've got all kinds of people that are wanting to step up and really be a part of this.
What's the date?
It's going to be great. It is Saturday, December the 9th. It'll be from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. And we're going to convert the inside of the Civic Center into a craft show with multiple booths. And we're going to have as well vendors on the outside of the facility with a stage over here and live music. We have live music being performed by the Quiver Brothers and a Mariachi de Dallas. And possibly even this other one has reached out and said that they would like to perform as well. So there should be a lot of live music. We've got a couple of great food vendors that are going to be a part of it. It should be a lot of fun. We're looking to incorporate several games and outside activities as well. Christmas committee has been meeting monthly starting in June. Starting in June, we've been meeting monthly starting in June. And starting this month, we are meeting every other week to really get this ball rolling and making sure that everything's on par. So things are trucking right along. I just wanted to throw those events out at you. If you have any questions, I can answer any questions about the events, but we have got a very, very busy event season coming up.
Is that all?
For
I'm kidding.
now, yes,
Very busy.
very busy.
So when is the Christmas committee getting together to decorate the wreath?
Don't know that just yet. We're still planning. We're working through it.
All right.
We're working on our budget right now. That's our next step.
I mean, 2
Audit.
weeks. Might go more.
That should be an event on here.
In 2 weeks. Might go more.
Any other discussion?
Yes.
Okay, so next item is item B, interlocal cooperation agreement establishing concurrent law enforcement jurisdiction between the cities of Everman and Forest Hill.
This is on here as just a discussion item this evening. Because I know council doesn't like surprises, so I wanted to make sure we had an opportunity to discuss it. Historically, through the county mutual aid agreement, we frequently assist Forest Hill Police, and they frequently assist Everman Police. There have been occasions where if we need to go to Forest Hill to assist them because they may have a call holding or whatever, or they need to come to Everman because we have a call holding, that an Everman unit may not be available to go to the call here in Everman, or a Forest Hill unit may not be available to go to the call in Forest Hill. And so we start to kind of cross some lines of what are the legal boundaries there? What lawful jurisdiction do our officers have in another city? So the purpose of this is because of how frequently we are crossing that jurisdictional boundary and assisting each other. The discussion has been, why don't we consider implementing a concurrent jurisdiction agreement for the purposes of that? This is not designed with the intent of our officers going to Forest Hill and conducting regular traffic stops or traffic enforcement. Same thing, vice versa. It will grant the ability to do that, but that is not the intent, and we will control that through policy between Chief Burns and myself. So I just want to be clear. It does also open a door for grant funding as concurrent jurisdiction agreements, because there's programs out there like the STEP program, which are designed to really increase traffic enforcement in dangerous areas, such as maybe the interstate, or if we have a roadway here where we're experiencing a lot of crashes, heavy speeding, pedestrians are struck by vehicles frequently, those kind of areas. We can apply through the state to get STEP funds that will pay for officers to go out and do enhanced enforcement in those specific areas. When we partner like this, it tends to attract more attention from the grants, from the state in funding those grants, because now we'll have adequate staff to go out and do those things. The state doesn't like giving money if there's not adequate staff to go out and fulfill the obligation of the grant. So it just opens up some doors for additional grant funding as well. All in all, it makes this a much cleaner arrangement that we have between us and Forest Hill, considering how closely we work with that agency.
Is it similar to the one we have with Fort Worth along Everman Parkway?
Yes, it is a concurrent jurisdiction, just like the one we have with Fort Worth along Everman Parkway. This agreement incorporates all of the city of Everman and all of the city of Forest Hill.
Great job.
I'm glad y'all put that map in here for us too, because I wasn't sure exactly what their boundaries were.
Yeah, that's the first time I've seen it.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, when you get areas that big, it's also hard to get real granular. So if y'all have any questions, if you want to know certain businesses in an area or not, let us know. We're happy to get that answered for you.
Any other questions or comments? Okay, next item, item 8, consideration possible action. Item A, resolution number 2023-08-04, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Everman, Texas, approving an interlocal cooperation agreement for a communication center and emergency dispatch services with the City of White Settlement, Texas, and providing an effective date. So I'll entertain a motion.
I move we approve resolution number 2023-08-04 as read.
Second.
Motion made and seconded for discussion. You got anything, Craig?
Only if there's any questions.
Okay, would you poll the council?
Place 1.
Aye.
Place 2.
Aye.
Place 3.
Aye.
Place 4.
Aye.
Place 5.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Item B, resolution number 2023-05- no, correction, resolution number 2023-08-05. Resolution of the City of Everman, Texas, approving an equipment lease purchase agreement between the City of Everman and Motorola Solutions Incorporated for radio equipment for total compensation not to exceed $206,041.60, authorizing the city manager to execute the lease purchase agreement on behalf of the city, providing a savings clause and providing an effective date. I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2023-08-05 as read.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion?
I do have one question. Is that supposed to be savings clause or severability clause? Bottom line of B.
It's on, it's just not loud on the speakers.
That'd be a savings clause. That's
It
correct.
is supposed to be savings?
I
Okay,
believe so, and I can double check there.
I didn't hear you.
I believe so, and I will double check very.
Okay, thank you.
That's kind of why I hesitated.
Is this coming out of the general fund?
Sorry about that. Yes, ma'am, this will come out of general fund.
And
Yes.
it's 41,000.
It will
Next 5
not,
years.
and it will not come, there will be no funds due this fiscal year 2024. We will budget this fiscal year 2025 next year.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
And then it'll be 5 payments of 41,000.
Correct. Yes, it's 1 year arrears. Yes, ma'am.
Will you apply for any grants?
We have been applying for grants. Unfortunately, so is every other public safety agency across the globe, and we're not exactly the top big for them. But yes, we have been applying for grants. The fire department does obtain a few radios. I think only 5 of these radios that are in this lease agreement are for the fire department, and that is because they have actually obtained several other radios through other grants. Police is much less likely to get funding through grants. Fire department always gets radio grants. Police don't. That's just the way it works, unfortunately.
There's something about insurance.
On the insured for the property, yes. Yeah, there is an insurance requirement, which it will be insured through TML, just like any other capital purchase that we make.
Okay, so that will, what amount is that going to be and what fund will that be coming out of?
It comes out of our general liability fund that we have when we pay TML. So we report all of our capital assets to TML, and our adjuster determines the rate based off that. But I don't expect it to have any sort of major impact on our insurance rate at all.
Okay, if on the equipment list, on the Schedule A, it lists other than the radio, it lists a lot of other equipment. Do we not have any of these items?
So yes, we do, but since I have a radio here, I'll show you. So if you look at the equipment list, it talks about the APX N70, that's the radio itself. The battery is separate. That's the next item, 12 batteries. So that's a separate part. And then there's a remote speaker that connects. And so the speaker has to connect to the connection on the side of the radio. These connections for these speakers are different than the newer radios. So of course, we've got to get all new speaker microphones. The chargers are different because the models are different. And then same thing going down. There's 8 APX Next. Those are different model radios, but they are radios, 8 battery packs. We are ordering 1 desktop multi-unit charger that we commonly keep in the patrol room. So when officers are inside the office, there's a bank of about 6 chargers that they can drop it in to charge their radio while they're on duty. That should be about all of it for police.
What says 12 speaker microphones, and then it says 8.
Yes, so there's 12 APX N70 radios, and then there's 8 APX Next single band model radios. So there's 20 radios here altogether. Most of them are the APX N70s. 8 of them will be the APX Next. The difference between the N70s and the next model has a little bit of a larger screen. The supervisors will be able to pull up the map. So all of our supervisors get the next model. The regular patrol officers and police officers get the APX N70 model. So there's 20 radios for police here with the accessories that includes the battery, charger, speaker, microphone, 1 bank charger. And then there's 5 radios here for fire below. And those are all APX Next with 4 Empress chargers. Those Empress chargers are actually to go inside the fire truck. They're designed to mount in the truck. So if the firefighters are out and about for whatever reason, they can dock that radio in the truck to charge.
Any other questions? Poll the council.
Place 1. Aye. Place 2. Aye. Place 3.
Aye.
Place 4.
Aye.
Place 5. Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Next item C, resolution number 2023-08-06, a resolution of the city council of the city of Everman, Texas, authorizing execution of interlocal cooperation agreements for police, law enforcement, mutual aid with the cities of Kennedale, Dalworthington Gardens, and Fort Worth, and with Tarrant County, and providing an effective date. I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2023-08-06 as read.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Let me just clarify this real quick. We are covered under a countywide mutual aid agreement. We are, as an agency, the Everman Police Department, pursuing accreditation through the Texas Police Chiefs Association. As a part of pursuing that accreditation, they don't want to see a blanket county agreement. They want to see actual mutual aid agreements with the agencies we most frequently work with. So all this is a standard, very boilerplate style mutual aid agreement with the agencies we most commonly work with out in the field. All it is if we need help, we can call upon them. If they need help, they can call upon us. Very basic, straightforward mutual aid agreement. This is not a concurrent jurisdiction agreement. So they are not being granted lawful jurisdiction here. County has lawful jurisdiction here, but these other agencies know, and then vice versa. So there's no expectation there. It's just if we need help, we can call upon them. If they need help, they can call upon us.
Where's Dalworthington?
It is off of Interstate 20 in Bowen is the closest intersection there to show you where Dalworthington Gardens is. Very, very small town. Roughly 1.5 square miles.
Is that close to Pantego?
It is right next door to Pantego. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And we do.
I couldn't picture that where it was for the life of me.
Yeah, great agency. We do work with them occasionally. More so, we work with them on the fire side. But there have been a few occasions where we've gone over there to assist their police, and they've actually come over here and assisted us as well. So.
Okay, this is Tarrant County Sheriff Department and Fort Worth Police
Yes, ma'am.
as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And like I said, this is something we're already doing. We're just putting it in writing and legalizing everything.
Yes, we are covered under the countywide emergency, countywide mutual aid agreement, but because we're pursuing accreditation, the accreditors want to see a specific mutual aid agreement with agencies we work with. So really the purpose of this, we're already doing this. The purpose of these documents is to say that, yes, we have specifically talked to these agencies. We do have a standing mutual aid agreement directly with them so that we can work again towards accreditation as a police department.
What does it mean, payment with current funds?
There won't be any payment, but if for whatever reason there was payment, it's one of the boilerplate languages that's required in there to say we have to pay for it with current funds.
Pay for,
Well, we're not paying for anything, but can you explain a little bit better than I can, maybe?
So that would be the cost of service such as things like gasoline. It's basically saying that when we are exercising this, that we're going to pay for the service we provide. And I mean, you get into, again, like the city manager can explain to you, get into things like insurance. Basically, we are continuing to insure ourselves in this agreement. Like he's basically saying this is boilerplate language. In practice, we already do this. If they call upon us, we will respond. But we have to get this down into a written agreement between us and these parties in order to get our accreditation to move forward.
Typically, we don't pay for any services, but if they wanted to charge us for gasoline or any coverages, they could. And a prime example of that is actually a natural disaster is typically where you see a lot of that come into play. Like when we had our flood, there were damages and things where we had agencies here for 12, 16, 24, 48, 72 hours. Well, at that point, now that city's exhausting its general fund here. At some point, they may say, hey, can we get some funding back? Because the state's going to come in and grant funding to cover our cost. We can turn around and funnel that funding back. Just standard boilerplate.
And it's like he's explaining, it's basic stuff like that. It could be, the cost of cleanup to say we have an oil spill in the territory, someone comes to help us, they have to use certain service to clean that oil spill off the right way. That's what we're discussing here.
Any other questions? Oh, council.
Place 1, Aye. place 2,
Aye.
place 3,
Aye.
place 4,
Aye.
place 5, Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Next item is executive session. City council will convene into closed executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074 personnel matters to deliberate the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, to wit, city manager. So the time is 7:25. We're going into executive session.
Say again. Yeah. So get mine. I can't take it. Because somebody else is gonna show up, with maybe something to take notes on. What I wouldn't do. I didn't have anything to burn.
It's really not a motion yet,
It's
right?
it's the city managers and the mayor, new territory. I mean, it's a big meeting. I'm sorry, I'm gonna miss it. I got something else I got to do.
Ready? Okay, I'll call the meeting back to order. The time is 7:39. I'll ask our attorney to read our statement.
Says a motion of the city council of Everman, Texas, directing the city attorney to prepare an amendment to the city manager's contract to reflect a 5% increase in salary rate and to move to authorize the mayor to execute said amendment via signature without further action of the council, said amendment having an effective date of October 1st of 2023.
I'll entertain a motion.
I move that the council approve the statement as read.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Poll the council.
Place one. Aye. Place two.
Aye.
Place three.
Aye.
Place four.
Aye.
Place five.
Aye.
Mayor,
Aye.
motion carried.
Okay, next item, city manager's report.
All right. Sorry, Susan made me laugh. No, I don't have anything, but thank y'all very much. I really do appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, mayor's report, just, Craig and I attended the Big Brothers and Boys and Girls Club event they had at their larger facility, and we're getting closer to getting something going here, and it just, every time you go there, you're just amazed at what they're doing. And they've got a kitchen where they're actually teaching people how to cook and to do stuff in the restaurant industry. There's a computer room, if I'm not mistaken. There was a basketball court. There was just all kinds of stuff to occupy the kids, and very high secured building that parents could check their kids in, but there no adults are allowed in the building other than the ones that work for the big Boys and Girls Club. So that was a real nice event though, and we're looking forward to maybe getting them here. And then we did the Ternary Food Bank, like Craig said, went to their breakfast the other morning, and they're growing leaps and bounds, and just amazing what they do. So, and I'm just blown away at Jared and the people over there. They're just very giving and very caring individuals. So can't wait for things to get going here. So, but with that being said,
You want to remind everybody TML conference.
what's that?
Just a quick reminder about the TML conference. If they haven't registered, they need to get registered and lined out.
Yeah, I sent something out to everybody.
Okay, perfect.
Email conference. So
Perfect.
and then tomorrow night's the Forest Hill Drive deal. If anybody wants to attend that, I'll be there. And I know Craig said he was going. So just in case any of our residents show up. So
The members from COG will be there as well. So it's a great opportunity to interact with the members of COG who are going to be actually in charge of the project and overseeing it.
So, but with that being said, the time is 7:43 and we are adjourned. Oh.